All right, y'all, hold on to this one and pay attention because there's much to say about this. Now, in summary, the way I say it, because I never seen the series, didn't even know there was a series, but in summary, Downton Abbey is about estate management. Yeah. Now, there was a lot of good things about it. There was a lot of moving things, and it's basically the process of a family managing an estate, managing their business relationships, their influence in the community, and the now elder generation worried and wondering whether they can give this estate and everything that it comes with to their next generation now grown up. Throughout the process of the movie, there is a a realization, you can say, of changing times. All right? Now, even in those changing times, when we look at the real world comparison of estate management, there are certain things in business and commerce and trust law that have remained the same, but also require a little bit more review and a little bit more simplification. And that, of course, is already happening on a global scale. So, for example, in estate management, you have an estate lawyer, okay? Someone who understands words and the play on words that some people may try to do wrong or to cheat someone from their own wealth or to be lost in greed. And a little side note on greed. Those who are lost in greed simply just want to do more things, okay? And you don't need to gain more profits or more businesses or be in debt to do more things or to have more experiences. Given the fact, and anyone can actually go and learn, given the fact that everyone basically has infinite credit, and that credit is based on infinite value, which is you and nature, which gets translated into this thing called credit, and the credit gets translated into these things called currencies. And for a while, this credit has been centrally managed by several people, and the credit of others or the wealth of others have been managed by other people, certain groups and organizations. And is it because, one second. Ya la clase está, ahora que salgamos, ahora que salgamos. Mira que él está ocupado, no puede agarrarlo ahora, ven. Está ocupado, no puede agarrarlo. Gracias. Ahora que salgamos, tiene una clase. Okay, where was I? Yeah, now given that there have been several organizations managing other people's wealth, all right, because some would say a lack of reading or laziness, but it's honestly several things, including the systems that were created, okay? There were things that were not calculated, all right? Either several organizations tried to play savior, or several organizations and people were like, you know what, to hell, if they're not reading, I don't care. If they don't understand that they have their own wealth, then that's their problem. So it's a mix of different things, but it is way better to teach people, like the famous phrase says, it is better to teach someone how to fish so they can feed themselves for a lifetime And in this case, with what I've been talking about, it's better to learn how to plant gardens, how to attend gardens, be stewards of the land. No one owns the lands. Okay. As far as wealth and money, people are learning that they are their own bank. You are your own bank. This is law. This is not conspiracy. This is written. All right. But the lingo, if you're not reading the lingo and looking up the definition, it sounds like something else. Is that on purpose? Is it not on purpose? Who knows? But what's important right now is that that film mentions a lot of these real world things, from people's worries, parents worrying about whether their kids can handle their wealth, to how the business is conducted, to how business is changing, commerce is changing, to what has existed already. All right. And what has existed already is that everyone has wealth, both natural wealth and even economic wealth. But it's hidden, or it has been hidden for a while, and it is no longer hidden. It's also no surprise that, companies, entertainment want to talk about sustainability when people in general have been talking about sustainability and self-sustainability for a long time. Self-sustainability does not have to deal with more sales, does not have to deal with more profits or being in debt. See, as people continue, and you yourselves continue to actually comprehend what finance is, what money is, what wealth actually is, what is true wealth versus what is the fantasy representation of that wealth, aka the fantasy is the economies, the fantasy is the currencies, the fantasy is the credits. Okay? As we start to realize that this wealth has been with us all along, then we start to come back into self-sustainability. We start to realize there is no need for debt. If everyone has natural infinite wealth and economic infinite wealth, why is there a debt? Well, simply be put it, people have not been bookkeeping, okay, accounting, okay. There have been many distractions and issues, yes, social issues and challenges. But we're all reasoning from that. We're returning back to the world that always was. Okay, it was always here. Self-sustainability is also means not over exploiting people or resources. I've mentioned it before in terms of electrical energy. You can take a small amount of energy or electricity, you can amplify it, and you can recirculate that amplified energy back into the same system, and it becomes a self-sustaining loop. Similar to how you plant a garden, you water it, and the evaporation kicks in, and then rain comes over. It's a self-sustaining loop. And of course, you collect the rainwater. Okay. It smells and tastes so good. So yeah, Downton Abbey is basically estate management. Okay. And estate management is something that's very real that many people are just remembering, but also we are realizing that the over complexities and the over complex systems that were built, we no longer need them. Whether they were from good intentions or not, we know that it's already flawed. We know that you can't expect a technology or an automated system of computers to do things perfectly for you. Okay. Not even ChatGPT gets things right sometimes. So what do we need? We need to become self-sustaining, self-efficient, and more simple. You see, I come from a world and I know of a world, and it's right here where we wake up. We have our gardens, we have our food for the year, every year. Every person has more than enough. You could do a lot with 1 acres, 3 acres on a horizontal and a vertical plane. You can do a lot. So we become self sustaining. We're returning to self efficiency. And this leaves room for infinite creative joy, infinite creative expression, creativity. It's never going to end. You're never going to get bored. So now people are returning back to it. You've seen people talk in videos and in person that, oh, the world is collapsing, the banks are collapsing, the economies are collapsing. Things are evolving, returning back to the truth because people individually and collectively have realized the truth and grow tired. So now they've been doing something about it. All right, that's all I have, y'all. Thanks for joining. Share, like, subscribe if you want. And that's all I got for now. Peace.